Good morning and welcome to Coffee Time with Kauffman. This is the comfortable place to talk about women's leadership, and today we are talking about holiday spirit. It is Christmas Eve, and the topic is perfect for the discussion today because I could not have a better coincidence between the idea and the belief around holiday spirit and women's leadership. I think they go hand in hand. But before we get into that, my name is Maria Kauffman and I'm a life coach. Today's coffee is from southern Mexico and it is a dark roast. So I find it interesting how life can just be life. And last week I talked about how as soon as I start a live broadcast on talking about having coffee time, my dark roast seemed to magically run out. The great part about that is, I look at it initially and think, man, what an unfortunate situation to run out of coffee just as you're starting to talk about coffee. I can look at it as a bad thing, but the reality is there is no such thing as a bad thing when you are in a high energy of leadership and coming from a very, very positive, I believe in anything type of attitude. So the cool thing is that it gave me an opportunity. As an engineer, it seems like whether I'm in my career as an engineer, now my career as a life coach, or in life in general, it seems like problems are just opportunities for improvement. So what happened for me is it gave me a chance to go shopping and to revisit dark roast coffee. And I'll say the good news, if we look at things as bad, we also can look at them as good. And there is no difference between the two in the bigger picture. So what happened was I had the opportunity to do some shopping, got a hold of a really awesome mixture of dark roast coffees. Today, like I mentioned, it is a blend from southern Mexico. So I am having an opportunity to experience dark roast that I would not have otherwise even considered had it not been for Coffee Time with Kauffman. So I thank everyone for inspiring me to bring this message to the world and to have a chance to talk about coffee and women's leadership all in the same conversation. And today's Southern Mexico is certainly making me happy as we talk about holiday spirit. And maybe it is the holidays. I find it fascinating this time of year, regardless of what you celebrate. I do celebrate Christmas. My family is all gathering together as we prepare for and get excited about celebrating the holidays, and particularly for us, Christmas. But what I also love, the dogs are all together and it's giving me an opportunity to walk the dogs and go around the neighborhood and witness holiday spirit in the version of the holiday lights and how people decorate their homes. And maybe it's partly because I have the opportunity to walk the dogs and to see these holiday lights, which I love. I love driving around to see holiday lights. All I can say is that come today, the day before Christmas, my spirits are at a bit of a fever pitch. I'm super excited. I'm super happy. I feel like I am full of joy just by the nature of this time of year. I think there is something, a quality that it brings to everything. Once again, it's kind of hard to drive around for too long, probably regardless of where you are, without seeing some level of holiday lights. And for me, that certainly incites positivity and joy, and all those good things that come with holiday spirits. What I also find interesting is that many years it seems to come around as the holidays do. And there's this idea that wouldn't it be nice if we can take that holiday spirit with us throughout the year? And that has me thinking. It has me thinking a lot about women's leadership, because I believe that is partly what women bring to the world. I think we have a bit of that holiday spirit inside of us. I call it leadership essence. It's that quality, that je ne sais quoi, that we walk around with all the time. And it's just how we want to interact with everyone and anything that we interact with. So I think the topics are fitting, especially in light of, for me, one of the things that the traditions, I'll say, in this time of year is watching, I'll say Christmas movies. Most of them seem to have Christmas in the title. So as much as I can, I either watch Christmas movies that I've never seen before, or I love still watching movies that I've seen ever since childhood. They never get old. I always still enjoy seeing a holiday movie or a Christmas movie that I have seen ever since I was a little girl. It does inspire and it incites that curiosity, that Christmas spirit, that holiday spirit. And it questions, do you believe? Do you believe in Santa? And what is that? For us to have the ability to believe in Santa, I think, once again, it translates into this idea of, do we believe in women's leadership? And I wholeheartedly, absolutely believe in women's leadership. And part of what women's leadership is, is the ability to have vision, the ability to know that even during the most turbulent times of a project or a process or a new product or whatever's going on in your career world or your business world, maybe it's a change in your ERP system or whatever that is for you, there's a belief that by doing this work and putting in the effort to make improvements or creations or innovations, that all of that is going to lead to more prosperity, to more joy, to some kind of advancement. And I think that's pretty magical. So there is a bit of similarity between part of what comes with holiday spirit and women's leadership. I will have to say, I'm just so excited right now during this time of year. It would be nice to carry that excitement and that intensity and that joy all throughout the year. But I also appreciate the fact that we're inspired on some regularity this time of year to really expand our belief in what is possible. I look back on 2021 and it has been an incredibly inspiring year. Definitely for women's leadership in many ways. I've seen so many stories and learned so much about many different women that are doing really amazing things on a regular basis. And what it takes is a daily commitment toward leadership. And in its essence, I believe leadership always comes back to the individual. Collectively, as women, we can all support each other and inspire each other and move forward together. But in the end, leadership is all about being the best version of yourself and leading yourself, basically. How do you lead you? So on my readings today, I do study A Course in Miracles. So I'm in the section of the book that's talking about teacher training. It's the manual for teachers. And once again, it seems like a bit of a perfect storm from a women's leadership perspective, because it's inspiring me to think about women's leadership in a whole new way. And I think, once again, it's all the same, whether it's holiday spirit, it's women's leadership, or it's personal growth, whatever that means to you. I came across, or being a teacher, I guess, there's an element there that in this part of the book, it is inspiring teachers with certain qualities. So I came across these 10 qualities and I wanted to share them with you because I think they're very important. So the 10 qualities go like this. Number 1, there's trust. And trust can be, certainly when we think of leadership and we think of personal leadership, it's trust in ourselves. How much do you trust yourself? And how can you gain more trust in yourself? So trust is one. Honesty is another one. It's being honest about who you are, where you are in life, and maybe what you are called to lead. Definitely, as part of women's leadership, we are all being called to lead in some way. The third one is tolerance. I love that topic because it starts to question judgments. When you are tolerant, you understand that the judgment is not a benefit to women's leadership. And the less we judge and the more we tolerate, the more we advance our leadership. The fourth characteristic is gentleness. I almost feel like I don't need to say anything more. There is a gentleness that comes, and I believe too, definitely with women's leadership, there is a very, very special gentleness that comes with women's leadership. Very, very powerful and very, very important, especially during some of these very turbulent times around our world. The fifth one is joy. Once again, like holiday spirit, it's like you can't have holiday spirit, women's leadership, and these 10 characteristics, one being joy. They're all synonymous. Joy is definitely an essential part or a quality that comes along with leadership and holiday spirit. Okay, the sixth one is defenselessness. So that seems to be a little bit of a big word or a long way of saying that there's no need to attack. Absolutely no need. You know, after we've talked about things like trust, honesty, tolerance, gentleness, and joy, defenselessness is just another perspective of saying a little bit of the same thing in a different way. There's no need to attack. Generosity. I love talking about generosity because it seems to be a natural, positive quality, certainly for leadership, but there is a way to do it in an inauthentic way. Or in other words, when you're being a little bit too generous, it might not be the most advantageous thing. So even within generosity, there is a subtleness that comes with maintaining a certain level of balance. And then comes patience. Patience. Patience is so beautiful because patience allows you a bit of calmness also in knowing that even though it may look like a little bit of turbulence and craziness in the moment, patience as a leader is knowing that everything's going to turn out just fine. There's no need to get caught up in the turbulence, and the leader needs that patience to be able to hold space and to contain either herself or and the people that are following her, knowing that I've got this. Everything's going to be fine in the end, and there's no need to worry about the outcome. Everything will work out. Which leads to number 9, faithfulness. Just a faithfulness, I think part of faithfulness is just staying committed to your own personal leadership journey, right? So there's a faithfulness that you're going to get up every day and you're going to give it a try. And you're going to give it a try in the highest light with your best foot forward, if you will. There's that faithfulness that you're just going to keep trying. One step at a time, one day at a time, one adventure at a time. Faithfulness. And the last one is one of my favorites, is open-mindedness. I think this was one of the true qualities that I understood about myself from a very early age. I could see in conversations with certain people at certain times that you can recognize closed-mindedness, and when people are stuck in a certain belief or stuck in their box about something, and there's not enough open-mindedness. When I think about women's leadership, being open-minded right now too, and having all these other qualities, it's a pretty powerful arsenal of characteristics that are just going to support your effort in whatever you are meant to do. So I hope you have enjoyed a little bit of conversation on how the holiday spirit is so important as it ties to women's leadership. And I hope you catch the holiday spirit in such a powerful way that it stays with you as intense as it can, as long as it can, as long as it certainly is serving you and in benefit of the greater good. I thank you for being a part of the conversation, for inspiring women's leadership. Coffee Time with Kauffman is the comfortable place to discuss women's leadership, because I am on a mission to help the world discover the truth about what women are capable of. And when you are ready for your leadership mastery makeover, go to mariakaufman.com and click on Consult a Coach, where you can schedule time with me for an empowerment session. Have a great week and an extra enjoyable holiday, as long as it has been for you and as long as you can keep it going. And certainly enjoy your adventures and journey responsibly. Take care. Happy holidays.